Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this video on how to make these dungarees. If you've watched part 1 and you've come over to watch part 2, then thank you very much for sticking with me through this very long video. But yeah, let's jump straight into it, and this video is going to show steps 33 onwards on these Merchant and Mills Harlene pattern, and then the finished dungarees as well. So as usual, while I'm going along, if you have any comments, pop them below, and if you haven't already watched part 1 and you'd like to do so, I will pop the link to it up here so you can go back and watch part 1. Let's crack on and get these dungarees finished. Next steps from 33 onward get a little bit complicated, so I'm going to try and slow it right down and go through it with you as I try and wrap my head around it as well. I've done it before, but I can't remember exactly what I did. So let's start off by pressing the inner side. So if this is the centre back, we know that this is the inner side. And we're going to press that in by 1 centimetre twice. We're going to do that on both pieces. Eventually these are going to sit on top of each other like so, and they're going to make up the cross at the top of the back straps, but we've got some more trimming to do first. So on the left side, which will be this side, open this back up, I'm going to trim to 8 centimetres, and we're going to go in 1.3 centimetres. And then repress that over. That's the left side done. And then on the right strap, I'm going to open this up and we're going to trim 6 centimetres up here, again at 1.3. And then I'm going to trim 2 centimetres off here, snip down a little bit further to the seam allowance, and then I'm going to fold that little bit there back so it's onto the right side of the fabric and press it again. Okay, so that's pressed over to that side. They'll sit like the right strap on the inside. So yeah, we'll stitch them like that. So stitch them up there, along there, down there, and then we'll trim 2 centimetres off here once we've done stitching. Okay, so we're jumping back in with stitching the back crossover of the back straps. So we're starting off with the top stitching on the inside of the straps. I'm going to do 2 rows of this, and this just carries on over the cross just where we've pressed those seams over. Then I'm going to secure the back straps onto the top of the back, so you're creating this V. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I think that's pretty neat actually, and then I'm going to top stitch that V, which actually makes it even neater. So if it's not quite as neat as you'd like it to be once you've stitched it, the top stitching does help. So again, 2 rows of top stitching, and then I'll probably give that a press again and trim off all my loose threads. I'm going to attach the top of the back to the back trousers. So again, just a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, just nice straight seam all along, making sure that my centre backs line up and my notches, etc. So just stitching that together, and then of course I will go back over this once I've overlocked the raw edges, and then I'll go back and I'll top stitch. I'll do 2 rows of top stitching, and again another row. So as you can see from all my outfit changes, these dungarees had taken me a little while, but mainly because I was making 2 pairs and I've broken it down into kind of smaller chunks. Right now I'm just top stitching the inner leg seam of the trousers. So I've attached my front and back trouser panels together, and I'm just top stitching the inner leg. And then I'm going to go back to my iron and press the other side of the straps over and finish the edge of the back top as well. I'm going to measure the strap length against my clips just to check that they fit inside my clips. Last time I did this, I didn't check beforehand that they fit through my clips, and I had to go back and make my straps narrower. So yeah, whatever clips you're using, definitely check that your straps fit through. Now I'm going to secure the button placket. Before doing that, I'm going to just stitch up the outside leg seams. So you stitch from the notch, leaving the top of the button placket open, and then you go back and sink stitch in this groove. I think you call it sink stitch in this groove to secure the button placket. So yeah, you can't really see, but it just secures it at the back. And then we're going to stitch those button plackets together at the bottom, just using a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. And so they should sit nice and flat against each other. And just hemming my dungarees as well. You might want to try your dungarees on before you hem them, because mine are quite long, so I probably could have tried them on and realised that I could have hemmed it up a bit more. But otherwise I'm just turning it over 1 centimetre and 1 centimetre again, and then top stitching and trimming all my threads off. Then I'm going to use the buttonhole setting on my machine to do the buttonholes and use a hammer to hammer in the buttons. If you would like to see my process for doing this, then go and check out my green corduroy dungarees video where I show you all about this. And right now I'm just securing the clips to the straps. Again, a little bit fiddly, but pretty easy once you get used to it. The trick is to just make sure that you get both your clips on the right way. So I'm just folding the underneath of the strap down, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to stitch it over. I think the trickiest part of this is how many layers of fabric you've got. So there you go. So I have finally finished my dungarees. This was the size 12 pattern that I made, and I think I possibly, next time I even could have got away with making the size 10, because they are super slouchy and baggy. And also this is slightly more stretched than I would like it to be. But yeah, they're super comfy, have lots of pockets, and they're just one of my favourite patterns to make. Sorry, I'm full of cold. So, but yeah, these ones are the ones I made myself. So this is stitched on the wrong side. So when I attached it to the fly, they don't quite match up, but I think I'm the only person that would possibly notice that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you tried making these Harlene dungarees before, or are you going to make them for yourself now? I would probably like to make a normal like blue denim pair, but yeah, we'll see. I'll try not to get too carried away. But I think this colour is such a nice summer, kind of spring, autumn colour. This fabric was from Merchant & Mills as well. And as usual, everything that I used will be linked in the comments below. Let me know if you have another pattern you would like me to try and make next. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe to my channel, as I'm back. I will be posting more videos, and there will be plenty more videos coming your way. I'll see you next week.